Edgar Farrera. I'm an architect here in San Antonio, and I'm very involved with green building. Green building really starts to look at buildings as kind of dynamic structures. In other words, instead of just something that you design and it sits there like a sculpture, you realize that buildings have an impact on not just the people who occupy them and live in them, but also on the environment in terms of the way they use water, the way they use energy, the way the materials are sourced and harvested and brought to the site for construction. All of those things can have a profound impact on things. Some of the key elements are certainly the first category would be looking at the site design, orienting the building correctly so that we minimize solar heat gain. We're in Texas. You know that when you have west-facing glass in the afternoon, it's brutal. I mean, that's usually not a very smart strategy. Providing shading, oftentimes you can find a site that has beautiful existing trees. If you can locate that building or that house so that you can take advantage of the shade from the trees, that's an excellent strategy in terms of site usage. Water conservation, there's a couple of aspects. One is certainly the site usage of water. Irrigation is a big consumer of water. In fact, right behind you, there's a rainwater tank that collects water from the roof for the rain. That can be done in buildings and used for irrigation instead of using potable water, which depletes the aquifer. Another excellent resource in our climate, which is South Central Texas, is what's called condensate collection. And you know how humid it gets here. And that humidity is actually water in the air. And the air conditioners actually take that humidity out of the air. And usually it's just either dripped down a drain or disposed of in some way. But you can collect it and put it in a tank and use it to water your lawns or some other. Inside the building, there's also a lot of opportunities to conserve on water use. Think of this. What we're doing now is we're taking water out of the aquifer. We take that water, we purify it so it's clean enough so you can drink it. Then you pipe it all the way to your home or to your business to use it, and some of that water is used for what? For flushing a toilet. Do we really need potable water from the aquifer for that? We can use rainwater, we can use condensate, we can also use high efficiency fixtures. I mean, that's a very simple strategy. There's no added cost to those types of fixtures. They're available now everywhere, and those can also cut back dramatically on the amount of water you're building.
If you've got a already constructed house and you want to go back and add some, sustainable features to it, is that something that's easy to do? Do you have any recommendations for that?
Well, obviously some of the greenest buildings are buildings that are already built because they're actually getting full usage out of all the effort that went into building them. We use the term embodied energy for all the effort that went into clearing the site and building a building. So an existing building in and of itself, compared to tearing it down and rebuilding, for example, the existing house is, there's a lot of efficiency in doing that. But some of the things people can look at is certainly they should clean their filters, their air conditioning filters. That can really impact the efficiency of your system in your house if you're operating with a dirty filter. As your equipment reaches the end of its useful life, in other words, as your water heater needs to be replaced, or as your air conditioning or compressor needs to be replaced, look at buying high efficiency systems. You don't have to run out necessarily and replace them now if you've got a perfectly functioning unit. But as that equipment needs to be replaced, replace it with high efficiency systems. Same thing with your windows. But there's a lot of things you can do in your house. Recycle. I mean, that's so simple and simple.
Do you know if San Antonio has any programs that help homeowners make their homes more efficient?
San Antonio does offer the city and SAWS, which is our water utility, and the electric utility CPS do offer a number of programs that either offer incentives or rebates for both residential and for commercial projects. And those change over time depending on what funding is available. So the best thing to do is actually contact SAWS or contact CPS and find out what are the programs that are available right now, or else go to their website. They have a lot of information on those.
Okay.